Hello, testing 1 2 3. Hello, testing 1 2 3. Right, it works. Right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to your own and your greatest YouTube channel ever. I'm going to be, maybe. Right, so we're back on our IPv4 subnetting videos, and it has been a while. Hopefully, everyone has practice, including me, IPv4 subnetting. So let's carry on with it. So, if anyone is new to my channel, I just want to let them know that they have to go to playlist. Hopefully my writing will improve. Finally, it will. When the writing improves, the cameras goes bad. Oh, hold on, right. So everyone who's here for learning a bit of IPv4 subnetting and having a taste of it, so they can go into my playlist, and from there they can check out the playlist for networking fundamentals and IPv4 subnetting. Right, so today we have a scenario. Before I start there, it's like a quizzy question, not really, but just one terminology I want to introduce, and it is CLI, which is called Command Line. We are like doing this one, right? And interface. Say command line interface. Yeah, that was the quiz for today. And I would just introduce, if someone is doing ICND 1 still and Cisco versions or Cisco new course, or they are planning to, so that's going to be their important bit, CLI. Now, let's forget about the CLI and come back to IPv4 subnetting. All these videos that I have made will give you a little bit of a taster or a tester of how to do IPv4 subnetting, and especially clearing the certificates and the exams. Finally, I've said certificate properly, right? So yeah. So today's scenario is we have to enter the broadcast address. So let's do this. Enter the BA, which is broadcast address. I'm gonna be trying to be more quick because I think I'm already above the 3-minute mark. Ta-da! Right, enter the BA broadcast address, and what for the network. And our network address is 10.6. Anyone there? Here, hello, you there? Anyone there knows what is 10.6? What's a 10 dot? Yes, thank you. Just to be on the safe side, it is a class A. It is a class A IP address, remember. So 10.6 is what? A class A. Thank you. Right. Let's move forward. I knew everyone knew. There was some like me who didn't, but it's all right, no worries. And good news, we got the subnet mask as well. So that's the scenario that's been given to us today. So we have to enter the broadcast address for the network, and we have network address or IP address here to 10.6.224.0, and that's a class A1. And then we have a subnet mask. Good. So now, as we know that we have already been given the subnet mask, which is 255.255.240.0. Right, if anyone gets a bit confused or they can't understand what is happening, they can go to the playlist and sort of revise the videos again and again. So this is your entry level point to start a little bit of career in IP addressing. So once you learn IPv4 addressing, then you can go to IPv6 and you can learn a lot of stuff. But it's important to know it because you'll see so many network diagrams and you will get lost if you have less idea of what's happening. So right here in this scenario, as we have been given the subnet mask 255.255.24.0. Now, usually, because this is my own way of explaining IPv4 address, if someone has got a better way, they should stick to that one. And if someone is more relatable to this one, that's fine. It's no problem. So what we will do is we will apply 256 rule. Remember, this is a very important rule of IPv4 addressing. If you're following this method, there's a lot of methods to do IPv4 addressing. So this might be one of it. And you can always work it in your mind as well. When you're in the exam, you can't do all this. You have to do all this inside your brain within 2 minutes, within 1 minute. So once you carry on doing practice, you'll be all right. So now once we apply the 256 rule, so as everyone knows that we need to subtract something. So that was our subnet mask. So we will be, so here if you see, we will be going into the third octet. So as I have explained before, but I'll still do that. So that's your first, second, third, and fourth. Hello everyone. So an octet consists of 8 bits. And so we are in this octet here. Yeah, so altogether that's 32 bits. So we are actually here. So we will subtract 240 from 256. Now, why we are doing this? We are doing this to find out the ranges and to find out what our network address or is going to be, what our networks are going to be. Well, why is it important? It is important so that we could find out our BA, our broadcast address. So next part would be, so once you subtract that, so we get 16. And this is slightly a longer example. I would have taken a smaller one, but today, after all these weeks, I thought everyone has prepared themselves really well. So I've chosen this one, but this one is very tricky in a sense because these sort of questions come in the exam. And when they do come in the exam, then they can be a problem. So they will not be a problem if you sort of carry on revising them. Right, so 16 is here. So now if we find out the range, so the range that we have found out is what? Right, there we go. 0.0, 16.0, so 16 here. So because we did increment in and subtraction here in the third octet, there we go. So we subtracted here. Yeah, so our ranges will come like this. So we got to carry on add 16. So carry on multiplying 16 and adding it. So 16 into 2, 32, and then 48, and so on. Now the difference between range and your subnet will only be the front portion, like class A IP address, the front portion, so we added that one in. So similarly, you got to copy this range in the front. So carry on doing that. So similarly, we'll do 16.0 and then we'll do 32.0, same as that. And so on. Now let's go back to our question. So enter the broadcast address for the network. So we have to reach this network 224. So similarly, when we carry on adding 16 and 16, there will be a point when we are going to reach this network here. Yeah, so there'll be a point when we're going to reach this network here. So let's go on to the next part. So if you can't understand, keep on revising and look at that and see how it is improvising. So for your first time, it's going to be a bit hard, but if you're used to it, then it's not a problem. No, so as you know, the network address, as I mentioned before, was 10.6.224.0. Yeah, so now imagine what would be the next subnet. So if we do, so next subnet is going to be, now if we add 16 in this one, so that will be 10.6.240.0. That is our next subnet. Yeah. So now in this scenario, the thing that's very important to note is we are looking for the broadcast address of this network, that one. So when we're looking for the broadcast address of this network, it's got to be one value before this subnet. So one value before this subnet will improvise it. That's going to be our BA. BA, our broadcast address. Hello, you there. Hello, you there. It's all right. We're almost done now. Good. Sorry, the video has gone a bit up the chart, about 4 minutes. Right. So our broadcast address is and should be 10.6.239.255. So that's going to be our broadcast address. Let me write this again. I think I have violated the rights of numerical analysis. Hold on there. So 10.6.299.255. Now let's do a small recap of this one, if I could. So what our scenario was: enter the broadcast address for the network which is a class A network 10.6.224.0. Now, why do we use class A network? This is a question. Now, I don't want to give you too much information, but class A network is used for bigger organizations. Now, not really for really small organizations. You can still use them, but class A is used for bigger organization where there's a lot of people, a lot of departments around. So class A is used down there. Now similarly, we got subnet mask here. So in order to find that, there's a couple of ways with it, but in order to find our broadcast address, we have to find the ranges and the network. Range and the network here. So range and network here on this one. So it's a good idea to write it as a network address as well. Why? Because don't mix this one up with that one. That's a subnet mask and that's a subnet. Remember, do not mix and match them. So similarly, when we found out our range, which was 16, then we did it this way, and then we did it that way. Now, because our network was 10.6.224, so we reached this point. Now, in order to find the broadcast address, we had to look at the next subnet, which is on this side, I think. Yeah, there we go. So that was the subnet which was given to us here. The next subnet is this one. I know it's a long story, but it's all right. Yeah. Now, in order to find the broadcast address, it's got to be one value before that one. So that is going to be our answer. Yes, the one mistake that a lot of people might do is, in order to find the subnet mask of this network, they would use a value before this one. Do you understand me? So in that case, it would be 223.255. And so this is one scenario that happens. So you have to see whether your broadcast address is going to fit this area or that area. Coming back to my point here, let's go back. So CLI in the front, that was the quiz question. So just to repeat that, it's called command line interface. So usually it's yeah, some people might be working in different languages. So with different technologies, languages, Draytech routers, Linksys, Cisco, Juniper. But in my case, I'm more relatable to Cisco. And you got command line interface. Why I am pressing on this one too much? Because whenever you're going to use a router or create a LAN or a WAN, or there's a lot of stuff which will happen. So the whole idea behind learning IPv4 addressing is not just to pass the exam. The idea behind it is, when you go into an area where you're doing troubleshooting, you're going to client sites, and you're working in IT, you need to know the differences between class A, B, C, variable length subnet masking, VLSM, and I mean, this is just a tester, a taste. There's a lot of stuff which will be coming forward, like spanning tree protocol and ICMP and POP3. So there's a lot of stuff which is there, but I have stuck to this area because I feel I'm more relatable to it, so I can give a little bit of tester in this one. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. People who have enjoyed my singing, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And anyone who is following me because of networking testers or tasters, thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.